taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough as.
Well, we're finally here. Tonight, the last show before we hit Locked In. And I am certainly locked in to give you 6 big bouts, 2 of which will qualify our final stars to the live event, as well as a very interesting main event tonight as well. So strap on in, grab your boom pullers, and let's head into tonight's action. Well, we are wheeling and dealing on our way to Fearless, as all the deals came for Breakdown this week.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the Alpha Academy from Kobe, Japan, weighing in at 156 pounds, Akira Tozawa!
Last week may have been draft week, but Breakdown was at the bane of both Primetime and Underground. This week, it's Solo Sikoa's turn to pick apart the rosters of Primetime and Underground, take some of their top stars and bring them to his roster. We're about to find out some of the names brought over to Thursday nights. And the first one is a big name. They call him the Cleaner. They call him the best bout machine. And he looks set to take over this roster.
And his opponent from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at 229 pounds, Kenny Omega!
Well, the gun's been pulled, the trigger fired. And this is one of the big names that's been absent through 2026. Finally returning here to Breakdown, the land of opportunity, where pro wrestlers come to prove they have something to show. The Cleaner, a name synonymous with the Showdown from last year. He popped off during that tournament. But now, without competing in this year's tournament, he needs to prove he is still the top dog, or one of the top dogs, as he takes on Akira Tozawa tonight to kick off Breakdown. And well, it might not break down Omega, but it may break the jaw of his, as already he's launching V-triggers after Tozawa's pump kick. And yes, tonight we are going to see a lot of potential debuts as a Fisherman's Buster. Straight out of the gates for the Cleaner. Omega is currently building some early momentum with some heavy artillery. Slingshotting in that springboard with the knee. Gonna connect onto the side of Tozawa's head. Tozawa now at the mercy of Kenny Omega. And what a way to debut onto Breakdown. So far, Omega has pulled out some big shots. Obviously, he has some opposition on this brand, or well, two big opposition, I think, important to note. The primetime world champion Kazuchika Okada is one of Omega's biggest rivals, but the other is looming large here on Breakdown. It's the Emerald Champion, Will Ospreay. Those two, a long storied history that may be finding its way to All In, but right now, we're all in on Breakdown and Fearless in the future. Obviously, Fearless all about brand supremacy, and with the rosters finally locked up as a shining wizard connecting here for Tozawa, he's going to drop Omega down into the drop zone. Potentially look for a finish. The cannonball sent on point. Omega down, the cover here for Tozawa. 1, 2. Kick out forced. Omega stays alive. That's the finish of Akira Tozawa piled into Omega. Tozawa needs something more to put him away, but the cleaner comes through with a neck breaker, catching Tozawa, who may have looked to fly. Armbar in here for Kenny. Just applying pressure. Rope break called, though. Your referee, I believe that is Miss Guile, calling the rope break. And it's wise to do that. Tozawa did have his feet down on that pink bottom rope. Got kick connect. Spinning high kick misses. Through the gate. Spinning tornado kick once more. This one on the money for Tozawa. But yeah, it's important to note, while we've got several big matches involving the champions of each brand, there will be 3 at least bouts between the brands. Breakdown versus Underground. Sorry, it should be 4 battles. Breakdown versus Underground. Underground versus Breakdown. And Primetime versus Breakdown. So yeah, it's 3. I can count correctly. So there will be in total, I should point this out, 10 stars representing each brand. Both for these matches as Kenny, nice snap German, forces Tozawa down to the canvas. And Kenny is lying in wait, looking to strike. Tozawa nips up. Fires off some nice shots here as well. Kenny being just punished in the corner. No escape for the cleaner. Irish whip, Tozawa. Back elbow, not going to connect. Kenny forcing Akira into the corner this time. Irish whip. Through the corner, up and over. Tozawa caught, dropped down. Big forearm smash from the cleaner. On the money, but Tozawa's fired up now. He's back on the offensive, takes waist control, up and over. Poison Rana. Into the cover off that as well. 1, 2. Kenny able to kick out. Rolls out the way of the follow-up shot as well. Springboard. Up, over, drop kick. Beautifully executed by the cleaner. Now he can lie in wait. Neither able to grapple, but a snapdragon. Kenny connects and he's got to follow it up. Oh, the V-trigger not going to hit the mark. Kira won't hit his either. And it's down to Kenny to take waist control. Up. Spins him out into the gutbuster. This is Kenny in fine form as the best bout machine, putting on an instant classic to start the night. And well, when he gets this in, it's usually good night. 1, Winged Angel. 1, 2, no! Tozawa kicks out. Who kicks out of the one-winged angel? It feels pretty impossible to do. But Akira Tozawa does it. And he's going up top now. Looks to fly on Kenny. Launches, but the drop kick falls short. Kenny into the arm stump puller. Oh, and caught. Hurricane Rana beautifully executed. Count of 2 here from the referee as well. Kenny on that bell, that tome of the 3, hits a big clothesline, and now a fisherman's buster onto the floor. Crash landing for Tozawa. That should be that. Game over, my friend. Kenny returns him to the ring. A stomp for good measure. Another attempted, but not going to connect with it. And now Tozawa back on the offensive. Snapmare off the ropes. Bang. Kenny eating shots now. Tozawa puts Kenny in the corner. A scoop up and a slam down. Cover for Tozawa. 1, 2. It forces the kick out. Kenny stays alive. For how much longer? He avoids the grapple. He scoops up. An interesting side slam there from Kenny. It's more of an emerald flosion, but it connects and he gets the 3 off it. The best bout machine. The cleaner victorious on his breakdown debut. And not to discredit Akira Tozawa. He put on one heck of a performance here, but you always had a feeling this was Kenny's bout to lose. If Tozawa managed to pick apart Omega, that would have been all Kenny's misfortune. And we see a lot of good offense. The battle back from Omega after eating that early cannonball senton. He hits this emerald flosion. And well, it's sayonara Akira. And hello, 1, 2, 3.
Here is your winner, Kenny Omega.
The cleaner victorious in his breakdown debut. We got more debuts hitting your screens tonight. Let's find some more carnage as it heads your way. Arguably the best team right now in IPW. Victory over the tag champions at break time.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 597 pounds, Ivar and Eric, the War Raiders.
But as you can see, the gold not around their waist, which tells you they got the dub, but no championship with it. That's right, they won via countout over the New Age Outlaws. Well, while it's a victory, it does mean their shot's gone. That's why they want to represent the breakdown roster heading into Fearless. Well, a tough task ahead for them if they are to represent. Because, well, there is a godly alliance in front of them. Solo Sikoa's Hitmen in the MFTs.
Representing MFT from Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 230 pounds, Tongaloa.
That's right. Tamatonga Tongaloa. G.O.D. The Gorillas of Destiny stand fiercely opposed against the War Raiders here tonight. And you know that, well, they want that title shot again, do the War Raiders. Solo's not willing to give them number one contender sort of spot for the breakdown roster. So I'm hearing the winner of this matchup will go toe-to-toe with the former champions next week. As Tama Tonga makes his little crawl to the ring. The yes.
Representing MFT from Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 220 pounds, Tama Tonga.
The MFTs, as a unit, impeccable in how they perform. God, one oiled machine. But the question stands, can anyone match up to them? Well, as we can see, Tama oozing that confidence as the ones go up in the air. We shall see if God can hang with the War Raiders here in our second bout. All the tribal drums and the war horns have already sounded. And let's get underway with this tag team affair. Eric and Tongaloa starting it. Big power bomb there from Eric onto Tongaloa. Whip reversed. Finally, Tongaloa can start his matchup. Oh, miss it wildly. Caught now in a guillotine hold. Eric is starting to apply early pressure here. Tag made. In comes Ivar. And you've got to feel as the big power slam lands here from Ivar. You've got to feel that these two teams, a lot at stake here, really. On Tuesday night, we did see a tag team bout that featured, I'd say, some of the best teams that Primetime has to offer in the Motor City Machine Guns and the Street Profits. The Guns picking up the dub there as the War Raiders Bronco Buster in from Ivar on the money. Straight on that chin, Tongaloa evades Eric's follow-up. He's going to send him running. Meet with a little shoulder touch. Discus forearm attempted, but the forearm smash of Tongaloa a slight pinch quicker. And well on target. Gives control to God. Tongaloa's flying. You don't typically see that. What we do see is cheatsy doodles from God as Tongaloa's removed that top turnbuckle pad. Sadly for him. Well, a good thing for him. This pin's not going to be counted. Able to kick out of it. Referee Miss Guile forced to put that back on. Roll up here for Tongaloa. Going to capitalize as the referee turns her back, but no count comes through. Kick there from Eric. just to put some punishment into Tongaloa. Elbow to the back and then a neck breaker. That modified neck breaker. Added pressure and now a deadlift. Spinning powerbomb, more like a Blue Thunder. Tongaloa really needs to look for that tag because right now he is at the whim of the War Raiders. An Irish whip, the pop-up once more into that power slam. Now it's Ivar's turn to work over the GOD member. Maybe not, he can't charge in. Instead, opts for the boot and that's caught. Dragon screw. Tongaloa now has some semblance of power in this matchup. A headbutt, a Tongan headbutt at that, gives him the chance to tag out. In comes Tamatonga. But he's caught gut wrench. Sorry, pump handled. Up and over. Is Ivar. He's going to tag back out. In comes Eric once more. But Tamatonga's there, ready. Catches him. Tries to leap in. Hits his head into that turnbuckle. And then eats the neck breaker. Eric building momentum now. He's had a lot of control of this matchup. But this time the whip reversed. Tamatonga. Headbutt on the money. And now the boot scrapes onto the shiny dome. And the big boot. More of a broski boot. Woo, woo, woo. And Eric knows it was on point. Tag made Tongaloa back in. But Eric there ready for him. He fires himself up but gets caught into a Tongan drop. Now, GOD really trying to isolate Eric here. While he hasn't taken much damage, he's certainly the one that's eaten the most for his team. Big lariat though. Eric's continuing to build momentum. He has a chance here to punish. Opts to instead send Tongaloa to the corner. No tag just yet. Instead, a clubbing blow. Now what's he going to do? No, just keeps turning him around. Tongaloa has had enough. Charges out the corner and charges back in. Spear into the spine. Not a place you want to be hit, really. Having it crushed in, leading to maybe slit discs. But not what has happened here. Thankfully, Eric's still able to fight. And he's turning around Tongaloa. Boot to the back of the knee. Added pressure as well. You've got to just think, sometime in the near future, someone's going to pull the trigger on the big shot. Tongaloa might be doing it here. Just pulling Eric into that clothesline. I would call it a Rainmaker, but it's not got that ripcord effect. More of just a launching, hurling of your body with that arm. But tag made. War Raiders. The chance to punish. Pop up. Holds him up. Springboard. Clothesline with the German. On point as Eric's into the... Sorry, Ivar's into the cover. Some part of me wanted to call him Hansen. But Ivar, he's built momentum up top. Looks to fly. He calls Tongaloa up. Well, he's not going to fly. Realizes a little bit too far out of range is Tongaloa. So, introduce him into the turnbuckle pad. Bust him open with a snake eyes. That's a completely different and better attack plan for the War Raiders. But a better one, though, coming from Tongaloa. Trying to get the win. The roll-up gets called for a rope break. But it is still a better avenue of attack than what the War Raiders have gone for. Ivar. Headbutt to the back of the neck. Drops the leg right across the neck as well. Another whip, another reversal. More and more of these shots getting deflected, turned around, changed in the favor of the War Raiders as they begin to work over Tongaloa in their corner. Ivar fires up. Cover here, though, onto Tongaloa, who really needs to escape. But the 2 comes through, and there's the 3. Wow. Well, the War Raiders showcase their dominance. We already knew they were championship contenders or contendership material, but this solidifies it with just the destruction of GOD. And the Gorillas did not look like a unit. It was so distinct. We had 2 seconds of Tamatonga action. And Tongaloa, he paid the price eating all of this. As this big shot really sealed the deal. And then Ivar, this pin here. 1, 2, 3, job done.
Here are your winners, Ivar and Eric, the War Raiders.
Well, it does give us a big-time matchup next week. War Raiders versus Team 3D. The winner goes to Fearless. Well, I said there were stars looking to change brands. Debut here.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the LWO from Tala, Jalisco, Mexico, weighing in at 165 pounds, Dragon Lee!
Debut and make it their business here on Breakdown. Well, tonight we got a couple of debuts happening here in this match. Well, not necessarily debuts, but returns to the brand after a little hiatus. Obviously, Dragon Lee competed in the locked-in qualifiers. This man also competed in them. He now looks to ascend as the former television champion. He wants more than just the mid-card glory. There are certain men that, well, there are thorns in his side. He wants to represent the brand as one of the 10 best stars. Can you blame him? He is godly. Or the opposite of that, I guess.
The Demon, Finn Balor!
Well, we know Priscilla Kelly or Gigi Dolan is Hell's favorite harlot. This man is Hell's biggest demon. And Balor knows it. A little break from the showdown. Reincarnated. Can he use the energy garnered to rise the ranks? The challenge for the glory on Breakdown's title scene. Tonight is no easy matchup against Dragon Lee. That's for damn sure. This could get very aerial in a moment. Very quick. It is two high-octane stars set to battle one another. And if I'm brutally honest, there's one clear favourite in this. That's only if the break has served him some good. We'll have to see as he looks ready to rise. The battle of the mythological creatures. A dragon versus a demon. We are underway. Early Pele kick from Balor. The demon also looking to fly early. Springboard drop kick on the money. Balor capable of really just doing the supernatural. This version of him anyway. Dragon Lee needs to find a quick answer to a lot of Balor's offense, but a kick out there from Balor really showcases the name of the game here for Lee. Get going early, as that was beautiful. Executed to perfection. That, I want to call it a Spanish fly, but it's corkscrew Spanish fly if it is anything. The drop kick's flying here from Balor. The boots going to work. Early in this matchup, he heads to the apron. No way he hits that. Springboard, nope. I'm right. He doesn't hit it. Falls short. Dragon Lee's going to punish him. The demon evades that follow-up, though. Back to the feet. Chop connects, and just so much power in that one shot. It just launches Lee into the ropes. And Balor's going to punish off of it. Nip up from Lee, gets him back up, but so does Balor. He returns the favor as Lee takes the action to the outside. Balor's the one responding, and the head of Dragon Lee, well, it might not be responding anymore. Hard landing into the LED ring post. Added insult here by Balor just to target out the legs as well. Let's remove that sturdy base as he heads up top. Balor looks to fly. Fly he does, but the drop kick goes wide. Dragon Lee gonna punish. The count resets. Lee back in. Balor just tore in the ring. He's back in as well. Misses his shot. Lee can't push him in. Now the chop connects for Balor, and he's up, down, gutbuster. Stomp not going to connect here. Balor, though, leaps in the forearm smash. The demon, he's feeling himself. The flow, the satanic energy, all coming out here. Shot not going to connect. Lee catches a follow-up punch. Kick down low. Balor, though, tossing Lee over the top. The Dragon in the drop zone. Oh, drop kick not going to connect. Balor was quick on that as well. He nips up as well, catching Lee, pulls him back out to ringside. And he returns to the ring in front. Early ring control garnered for the Demon, who's, well, that early control's not favored him. There's Dragon Lee, an Irish whip. Balor in the corner, eats the boot, swept out underneath him, dropkick to the sternum. Quick pace being set now by Dragon Lee. He's sensing he's got the Demon right where he wants him, up and over. That was impressive. A Hurricane Rana on point, and now the scoop up. And the Snake Eyes finishes that combination off. Such quick action. Headbutt there from Balor, stopping what Dragon Lee wanted there. With the Demon hung up against the ropes. Balor flies. Dropkick again, missing. The Dragon knows what's coming. Using that foresight to thwart it. A drop down. Leapfrog. Caught and brought up and over. Lee now looks to fly. The fly he does. The splash connects. The cover comes through. It's good for 2. Nothing more than that just yet. Can't follow it up. The ricocheting of the neck not going to happen. Instead, a backstabber from Balor. The Demon sensing it. Target locked. Dropkick. Again caught. You've got to feel that Dragon Lee... Oh, the knee missing as well. That was his big shot. The pad comes down though. He's got Balor right where he wants him. And he is calling his shot. Up and over. Destino from Dragon Lee. Good, but not good enough. Balor kicks out in time. And fight back is coming in the form of 1916 just yet. Balor fight back. Dropkick missing. Yet again, I think I've said that phrase so many times in this battle. But Dragon Lee is thwarting those deadly boots of Balor. The lights go out. Balor's back up, but Lee missing. He thwarts that shot, but cannot thwart no more. And Balor unloads. The Demon, his supernatural power kicking in. Gutbuster on the point. Good for 2. Nothing more, nothing less. But Dragon Lee is giving the Demon a run for his money. And Balor knows it. He rolls out, realizing he is in danger. Charges in, caught, up, down. Hard landing for the Demon there as Dragon Lee, my word. Take a bow. You deserve it. Hanging with this former television champion. But you know, at any given moment, the Demon can switch it on, and this might be him switching it on. Target locked. The flight could be imminent, and it's in the form of the dropkick. This one connects. If one connects, that usually means more are to come. Balor returns Lee to the ring. Boots come up though. Lee fights back to his feet. Up, no. Good kick from Balor. He's going to stop the offense from Dragon Lee. And Dragon Lee's going to stop Balor's. Roll through. Not going to go for the cover. Instead, the big bomb from Dragon Lee. hits the money. Clothesline. Make it a second. Boot caught. Sweep out the back leg, and Dragon Lee, he could be closing in on victory. That big knee might be the money shot, the big time winner. As Dragon Lee goes back to the corner, he's calling for it once more. Big time forearm smash on point. Balor down for the 3, and the Dragon is victorious. Normally, I would have favored the Demon here, but credit where credit's due. The Dragon Lee, he stepped up here tonight. Overcame the odds. Firstly, bang. The knee shot. Staggered Balor. And then this. Groggy already. The big running forearm smash gets the job done.
Here is your winner, Dragon Lee.
And that, if anything, it just elevates Dragon Lee a little bit further up the rankings after an impressive victory here. But for Balor, his woes still remain. I wonder if he'll ever recover. Well, it's finally time to get some women's action here tonight.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Honolulu, Hawaii, Ruka.
And while we've been lacking in these style of matches, how about we bring in one of the most entertaining, highly anticipated and high octane sort of high flying stars of this women's division onto your screens. That's right, Sol Ruka in action here. And she looks ready to go. Does the former Underground champion, and that terminology now means something once more with the return of Underground. But who's this?
And her opponent from Mexico City, Lady Shani.
Well, it looks like we've got a debut. Originally, I thought this was Katana from Mortal Kombat, but no, it's Lady Shani. I believe a Triple R superstar that here to compete against Sol Ruka. And in all honesty, I was not expecting this in the slightest. We shall see if she can hang here with Sol, but don't know too much about her. It was impromptu, I think, signing here by Solo Sikoa to strengthen his roster. And can you blame him? Going out of the way to find new stars as the wheelbarrow misses. A facebuster, though, from Sol does not. Springboard early, moonsault on point. Ruka into the cover again. One. Don't know why I said again, but Sol into the cover for the first time. When you have to feel Sol strong as ever as a poison Rana. Right on point, but Shani can't follow it up. Instead, Sol gonna punish. Send her into the corner and then a beautiful German suplex. launching her across the ring. Originally, when I heard that this signing had happened, I thought this was maybe an addition that could help, I don't know, Lady Flammer, but apparently no correlation there between the two, from my understanding. However, it's still a nice welcomed addition to the roster. And while she's going to work here over Sol, putting her boots to good use against the face of Ruka, and now springboard up over, beautiful tornado DDT. But a roll up, Sol's caught her, locks her up in the pin, and a quick kick out just to stave off the danger. But Sol's back to her feet first and back firing bombs. Springboard crossbody on point. More of a splash than a crossbody, but hey. Sol. Waist control gained. Caught though. Tries for the belly to back suplex, but Shani just lands straight on her. Now head scissors applied. If the game plan wasn't obvious here for Lady Shani, I think she's trying to bust open. Ruka spinning back fist might have got the job done, but no. Sol resilient. We know she has that resiliency. She had to battle tooth and nail to get into the underground and perform superbly. Now she's sent running. Shani tries to go for the drop toe hold. Sol fights back. Super kick to the gut connects, but Shani wheelbarrows through, breaching into the cover. Sol's able to get out of it. Sensed the danger was coming from the wheelbarrow and then just elevates her shoulders slightly to get out. Got busted there. And now Sol lining up maybe a big shot here. Drop kick not going to connect. Shani springboard again with the tornado DDT. It finds its mark. Sol needs an answer, a response to the high-flying offense. Hurricane Rana. And Shani charges in. Big running knee. I'm still, like you, unaware of what her finisher is or signature. For all I know, it could be like a Soul Snatcher, but that comes from Sol, who I thought was going for it there instead of Moonsault. Finds Shani standing disorientated. Sol back to the apron, springboard once more. This one, a little glancing blow connects. Ruka's still finding the mark. Waist control now. Another gore buster. Sol brings her back to her knees. And that's a big time knee. Busting open Shani, the jaw staggered. Or shattered nearly. What's she thinking here? Just gonna crunch that knee. Can you blame her? It's a big offensive maneuver from Sol. You remove the base, that high-flying offense becomes very hard to go for. Sol gonna shake it off, and well, I have a feeling shake it off might be end the match. Crossbody attempted, not Soul Snatcher. So that means Shani has still a chance to fight back as well. But she's sent over the top. Sol standing in the ring, waiting for her opponent. The count comes in now from Guile, the referee. Slow count. Pretty important. As it rises and rises, Sol avoids the grapple. Avoids the punch, but cannot avoid this grapple. Forced to the corner. Shani takes Sol up top, not where you want to be. Arms wrench up and tossed off the top. Shani into the cover. 1, 2. Sol staying alive. Could you imagine just off of that toss? the one big maneuver Lady Shani gets. She might be going for it again. Arms hooked. Up and off the top. Indeed she is. Another cover here for Lady Shani. 1, 2. No. Impactful kick out there by Sol to stay in this matchup, and you've got to feel that something more might be coming. But Sol can't get it. That Soul Snatcher. Perfect counter. Called to the corner. So she can't launch out of it. Shani. Oh, chop across the body. Charging through and a big boot. Sol rolls out. She's forced out the ring. Shani, unlike Sol, will chase and get caught. Almost baited in as Sol leaping into the moonsault. The standing booty popping moonsault. The whip comes through. Sol. Up and over. On the money. And you've got to feel Shani's down after that hard landing. Sol returns it to ring, and there's the cover. Nowhere near the ropes, no safety net there, but the cover's good for only a 2. Shani kicks out. All that's going through my head is Sol, springboard crossbody on point. Shani was getting up, and well, Sol was not going to allow that to happen. Now she heads to the apron, springboard. Buckshot lariat. The 450 buck on the books. Sol ascends. Springboard. Cork screw. Sort of senton. Sol looking for it. A Soul Snatcher. And Ruka into the cover. 1, 2, 3. You don't underestimate a former champion. That's for damn sure. And Sol snatches another soul. While it was a close debut for Lady Shani, getting these tosses off, not that impactful of a maneuver, I will say. It's still victory for Sol after hitting that Soul Snatcher.
Here is your winner, Ruka.
This women's division starts to heat up now after this opening women's matchup, but we've got a co-main event now. It's a big one at that. And then we head to our last women's match. Champ versus champ. Well, the hounds are barking here in Wheeling as the big signing from Primetime hits the breakdown roster.
The following is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring, representing the Vision from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 250 pounds, Braun Breaker.
A big name hits this roster. You kind of have to give Solo Sikoa some credit for this big name pickup. Obviously, with the fact that he actually competed last week to potentially be in the 10-man unit of Primetime. Fell short to Shawn Michaels, but since then drafted over here to Breakdown. Reuniting with a guy that finished the Uprising Prospects Championship tournament pretty gosh darn well.
And his opponents, first from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 212 pounds, Sami Zayn.
If you don't know who I mean Big Bronson Reed. He stayed here on Breakdown as well, so Bron and Bron can work together once again. There's the Vision reunited here on Breakdown. For Zayn, he gets to go to work. First one in a while for him. And well, he's got the crowd backing him. Questions need to be asked. Is this a matchup to decide who represents Breakdown? Or is it just a glass smashing and an ass kicking from the Rattlesnake?
And from Victoria, Texas, weighing in at 252 pounds, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, if you want to see Stone Cold kick Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker's ass, give me a hell yeah. What? I'm feeling a bit Austin 316-y, you know? We're about to just unleash carnage here in your co-main event. 3 explosive finishers. The spear, the haluva kick, and the stunner. We're in for a treat. The bell rings from big man Kevin, and Braun launches the offense. Zayn reciprocates that same tone. Hooks up Austin. Fisherman suplex. We know Fearless is the point of the card. The point of the year where after it, anything goes. Careers change. And well, with how the card is shaping up in terms of full brand supremacy, the opportunities to take big names, to steal picks out of it, well, they are what that night is all about. Making it onto that team where you can not only sell yourself as a big name, a big prospect to be taken, you also set yourself as a potential winner for your brand. Now, we mentioned it earlier in the night that there will be 3 matches. Each brand has 10 stars repping it. When I say 10, I meant 8. But shh, it's okay, mate. It's 8 stars total for each brand in those 3 4-on-4 eliminators. Now, what's important to stress? There will be 9 matches total on that card. We already are aware of 7 of them in terms of who will be involved, unless Thea Hale loses her Underground Championship this week on IPW Underground. That will be the main event. She will be defending the belt as one of the only stars who hadn't defended in such a long time. But there's the Des Press from Austin. Now a combo onto Sami Zayn. The Rattlesnake might be about to stomp a mud hole into both his opponents. One's getting up, but there's a chair in the hands of the Rattlesnake. He's caught. Zayn can't get the Blue Thunder. It's a crossbody from Austin, who's now looking to fly, but Braun, he has a kendo in hand. He's not going to use it because a King Kong knee drop comes through from Austin. Breaker, kick down low. Butterflies Austin up, down, spins him out. Cover here now for Breaker onto Austin. Only good for that one. But yeah, we know the majority of the matches already for Fearless. We just need to know for the 3 big bouts between each brand, who are the 4 stars repping them. Because right now, Breaker charging in. He's landed onto Zayn. Caught by Austin. Des Press. Covered by the Rattlesnake. Good for that 2. That creamy 2, but not the pure explosive 3. Austin, great with a weapon. Swinging for the fences. Oh, but he can't swing onto Zayn. He gets caught. Tossed around. And Sammy's going to follow him. I thought for a second that kick to the gut was coming that usually leads to a little stunner. But not yet, anyway, from Austin. Now Breaker and Zayn, both standing. Oh, Breaker's grapple evaded. Zayn stomping into Braun, but he's caught. Stunner attempted. Sammy forces Austin away. He saves himself, but it was almost lights out. For the underdog of the underground. Meanwhile, Braun, he can't connect. Zayn, he will not connect. DDT blocked. Austin connects with a clothesline. Breaker. Whip reversed. He's sent running. And Stone Cold, he is feeling it right now. Actually returning to the ring maybe if Austin has his way. But Breaker caught. Punch to the skull. And 1 to the back. Make it 2 to the back. And the baseball bat now swung for the fences. Zayn can't connect onto Braun. Breaker can't connect onto Zayn. Zayn's whip reverse. And like earlier in the night, someone's head is hitting our LED ring post. And it's Sami Zayn's this time. Breaker now going to toss around Austin as Zayn. He gets a chance to recover. And, well, Breaker's going to force him back into the ring. Zayn can't force Breaker into the corner. And Austin's going to work with Braun. Have a meeting in the minds. Springboard DDT missing. Zayn watching on as the mat slam comes through onto the sledgehammer and kendo stick. Cover for Austin. 1, 2. Ooh, Sammy able to kick out. Oh, big shot from Sammy. Puts the rattlesnake in the corner, but we're not seeing the follow-up. I think that was an attempted haluva. Des Prez, though. Austin, though, can't follow it up. Breaker stomps him out. And the badass dog, his shot blocked, evaded by Austin. The rattlesnake knows that he can put away someone here. The haluva kick missed. Sammy caught again. That Des Prez on the money. Cover, but nip up from Braun. He's not allowing this match to go easily away from him. Breaker lands. Zayn down as well. Austin able to kick out. Forced to kick out as well. Sammy back in. Kick down low. Puts Breaker up. Takes him up, but the stall out. As Braun's out the back and chopping away at your knee. Breaker eats a sledgehammer. Austin now in trouble. Zayn with the haluva kick. First the spear, now the haluva. The cover comes through. Zayn, 2. No. Shoulder comes up from Stone Cold. Needs a little more to put him away, but an exploder onto Sammy. Braun's unloading, but caught with the stunner from out of nowhere. Cover here. Braun down. 2. Austin almost does it there. Zayn. Oh no. Sent for a run. Backdrop from Austin. Got punches. Shots connecting. And Stone Cold. Slowly but gets up. And once again it's the stall out on Breaker. As Braun chops away at that knee. He scoops up, puts down with the world's strongest slam. And he's going to try and swing at Zayn. Stone Cold out the picture. Sammy. Dropkick missing. He eats some punches now. And the mercy of Breaker. Back Breaker from Breaker. As Braun Breaker looks to fly. Drops the axe. Cover here as well. Austin back in. Stone Cold. Side slam onto the sledgehammer. Spine eats the wood. The butt eats the metal. Braun, though, forces Sammy to eat a spear. But there's a kendo from Austin. He goes to the cover on the man not speared. Breaker, it doesn't matter. Because Stone Cold gets the win regardless. Zayn wasn't getting up. And the kendo stick shot clearly did enough damage to put away Breaker. Austin. He picks up the dub here. Massive one at that. Well, twice in 2 weeks, Breaker's failed in multi-man matches.
Here is your winner, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Meanwhile, Austin, time and again, he comes in randomly to IPW. And time and again, he picks up victories. Could he be becoming a main stage name and potentially a championship contender? Well, that we're yet to see, but what we will see is a champ versus champion main event. Jordan Grace, Charlotte Flair, your way now. Well, it's interesting. Usually, it's the lower champion out first. But the Queen has different plans tonight.
The following champion versus champion contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from the Queen City, the women's prestigious world champion, Charlotte Flair.
Well, we have two new champions here in the women's division of Breakdown. This is Flair's first matchup since becoming Ruby Belt champion, beating Becky Lynch at break time just before the showdown kicked off. In arguably a surprise result. Also, how in the hell did Charlotte just do that with the title around the jacket? She's got mystical powers, man. Anyway, Flair gonna use some assistance from our referee, as always, to get into the ring. You had to feel she was always destined to reach championship glory, but never on prime time. When you have to deal with Fallon Henley in that title scene, it is never a pretty picture. Unless you class Fallon as pretty, which I kind of do, but it's never a good picture to be in that scene. So Flair, during the first draft of 2026, headed over here to Breakdown. Only really found success during the showdown, and that's how she got that shot to win the championship.
It's not over until I win.
The big mama pump, though. Completely different story.
From Austin, Texas, the women's pure wrestling champion, Jordan Grace.
Last week, 8 women competed in an elimination battle. As you can see, Jordan Grace won out in. Thus winning that battle gave her that beautiful championship around her waist. Not many people can say that they have earned that championship. In fact, only 3. And all the previous holders have gone on to greater things. Top championships. Well, Grace has her chance tonight against the top champion. As we tie things up, it's power from Grace versus technical submission style wrestling from Flair. And don't not expect the cheap shots from Charlotte. He will always look for an advantage. She is the daughter of the dirtiest player in the game for a reason, and that is what sets her not necessarily apart from those in this division, but it certainly gives her an advantage. So as top champion, you kind of have to expect, as a fisherman's buster comes through from Grace, you have to expect that Charlotte will try for some conniving strategies as champ. She's got such a large pedigree of prestigious accolades. It's the reason she earned that moniker of the Queen, is because of just her regalness, her royal stature within professional wrestling. And spinning back fist attempted there by Flair. That's a maneuver that Grace may look for as well. This is also what Grace looks for. Power in packs some punches. As that German suplex, prolific in execution. Nice running shot there from Grace as well. And could you imagine The Juggernaut, the one to get a victory over Flair. Not what I would be saying or expect to say here tonight. Whip reversed. Grace and Flair returning into the ring. Charlotte caught. Grace sends Flair into the corner. Could go muscle buster, not going to happen. Instead, the spear evaded, and Flair fires back with a bulldog. Arm ringer from Grace. And you got to think, this might be an evenly contested bout between the two. It really would do wonders for both of them if, in all honesty, both of them drew this match, but any win is huge as that powerbomb's huge, and there's a big knee as well. Grace looking to continue momentum from week to week. Flat. She needs to certainly cement her title reign. Doesn't want to be a transitional champion. But she just gets tiger suplexed. Yikers. Hard landing onto them steps. Still somehow able to fight. Nice snap vertical. Grace reversing the whip once more. Sends Flair into the barricade. We're at a count of 6. Make that 7. Count. Rising higher and higher. As Grace sent into the steps, a count of 8. Flair needs to get back in and will do so. Grace staggered. Count of 9. Returns it before the 10. And she's caught Flair off guard. I think Charlotte expected to get the count out there, but no. The knee comes through. Caught. Neither woman able to connect. Flair catching, and so does Grace. We're jockeying for position, but it's going to be Grace. Fireman's carry, no out the back door. Goes Flair to chop, connects. And we're getting a little natural selection. Cover for the Ruby Belt champion. And that cover is only worth the 2. Grace kicks out. Staying alive in this champion versus champion affair. Splash from Charlotte. She goes for another cover. Hooking that leg. 1, 2. Grace again kicks out. Resiliency needed from the Sapphire champion. But going up against Charlotte Flair, you know that Flair will be ready to punish. The knee catches her. Flair unloads, kicks, and boots to the head and to the body. And Charlotte's not done. She calls Grace up. Handspring, all the clothesline caught. Grace scoops her up and puts her down. The cover. 1. An immediate kick out from Charlotte. No hesitation to get out of that. And that's the sort of thing that a champion will do, is showcase that they aren't an easy sort of punching bag. Charlotte charges in. Forearm smash in the corner. Over here onto Grace. 1, 2, 3. Flair's victorious here. Ruby Belt's still with her. And there's a reason she's champion. But look who's that! No! Well, we said it's a bad place to be in a championship division with Fallon Henley. But what we did not remember was, well, Fallon's been drafted. And the entire Fatal Influence roster with it. Statement made by Henley to close out Breakdown. The champion blindsided. And well, with it, potentially, she has just been put on notice that Fallon wants another title. Thank you for joining me here tonight. If you enjoyed this episode of Breakdown, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here, or if you want to. And I will see you Sunday for IPW Underground. Peace out.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big